during a very busy offseason. What else have you really enjoyed that you've been able to do since winning it all?
I mean, I enjoy going back to the Dominican Republic, which was my home. You know, I got to spend time with my family. They don't get to watch me play here in the United States, so, you know, whenever I get the opportunity to go back to my country and spend time with them, it's always special.
Adam Wexler, Brian Lima, Chris Gordy here with Jeremy Pena here. And again, we talked to David Hensley earlier. I know he was with you on a lot of the things you were able to do. But again, at this point, it's mid-January. You're a month away from going to West Palm Beach. Has the focus long since turned to it's the 2023 season for JP?
Of course. You know, we already turned the page. You know, we've been preparing physically and mentally. And we know there's still a lot of work to be done. So I know that the rest of the guys are doing the same. They're preparing, and we have a great team. And we'll see. It should be an exciting season.
Hey, before I ask you this question, I got to fire this crowd up. Y'all like Jeremy Pena or what? That's it? Man. Jeremy, I'm going to ask you point blank. Are you going to play for the Dominican Republic in the World Baseball Classic?
Yes, I will.
You are?
Yes, I will.
So it's 100% committed?
100%
You're 100% committed.
Yes, sir.
I mean, your roster's okay. It's kind of mid, but you know, nothing against the U.S. It's all right. It's all right. A couple of good dudes on there. But seriously, what does it mean to play for the Dominican Republic? Obviously, you're committed. You're going to play. It'll be your first one. What do you think that's going to be like?
I mean, first of all, it would be an honor to be able to represent my country. You know, growing up, I used to look up to those guys. You know, look up to that tournament, and to be able to compete in it, you know, represent my country. It's special in itself, you know, and to be able to face all these other great players, it should be a great time. I'm looking forward to it.
Who's on that list? Who are you looking forward to playing with the most?
Julio.
Yeah?
You know, I feel like Julio, we were teammates in Arizona 2019, and we had a great time, you know. We became good friends. And then ever since, we've just been facing each other. So it'll be cool to be on the field with him again. Yeah,
so that's Julio Rodriguez of the Seattle Mariners. So obviously he was one of the top talents in this league, just like you were this past season. What's it like to be able to play against him in the division? You're going to see him a lot this coming season for the future.
I mean, he's special. He's special. You know, whenever he steps on the field, you know, he does something amazing. And you know, he forces you to elevate your game. You know, it's you want to play against guys like that. You know, they bring it every single day, and it forces you and makes you do the same. So
yeah, he was a guy that I like when you guys were playing them. Like, have anybody else beat you. Do whatever you can to not let Julio beat you. And I mean, obviously you guys took care of business, but man, he's a special player.
Oh, for sure, and he's gonna be special for a long time.
Yeah, there's one at bat before I kick it back over to Wex. There's one at bat that I want to ask you about. Yordan Alvarez hits the walk-off in Game 1 here at home in the ALDS. David Hensley works a walk. Altuve gets out. There's 2 outs. Now you come up. I think you were down in the count 0-2, 1-2 maybe. And right. There was a slider that was dotted up on the outside half. You stayed back, kept the hands back, smacked it up the middle to keep the inning going. They get to Yordan Alvarez. We know what happened. That at-bat, along with Hensley's and then the walk-off, like that changed the course of the postseason for you guys. Can you take me back through that at-bat? Like, is that an at-bat that sticks out to you?
Of course. I mean, I knew their plan was to, you know, stay away, you know, throw off speeds away, and I kind of got out of myself in the beginning of the at-bat. You know, in mid-at-bat, I made the adjustment where I was going to die with it, and I was just be calm as possible. You know, just pass the baton to the next guy. You know,
get to the next guy.
Yeah, I have Yordan Alvarez hitting right after me, so just get on base and let Yordan do what he does best, which is mash baseballs, you know. I just got on base. David Hensley put together a great at-bat, you know, to start it off. And then Yordan capped it, you know. And I say that's the game that, you know, could have been the difference in our postseason run, you know, because Seattle was riding high. You know, they were electric all postseason. And then when Yordan, you know, walked it off, then the momentum pretty much shifted on our side, and we never looked back from there.
Yep. Is there something more? Because we keep talking about all offseason. Michael Brantley's back. You spent most of the year in the 2-hole. He spent most of the year before you did in the 2-hole. And we put these lineups together, and we play Dusty here on the radio and all that fun stuff. But what you're talking about, knowing who you're passing the baton to. You're batting in front of Yordan. You're batting in front of Alex and Kyle and Yuli last year, and now Jose Abreu this year. How much does that creep into your even daily preparation for how you're going to attack an at-bat, knowing just keep it going because of what's coming?
And I think that's what makes it special, because we know anyone in the lineup can beat you. You know, from 1 to 9, we know anyone can be the hero on any given day. And I think that's what makes it special.
So we just had Ryan Presley sit down, and Brian was asking him what it's like for him when the bullpen door opens and the theatrics here at Minute Maid Park go off. What's it like for you watching him come in and watching what these fans are doing as the lights are going on and off, and cash is going, and he's getting ready to close out a game?
I mean, it's awesome. I've said it a million times this year, but, I mean it. We have the best fans in all of baseball, and they show up every single day. And that's special. So when they do that for Presley and the lights come off and the lights go on with the phones, and it's awesome. Great environment.
Let me ask you, Jeremy, I was down in spring training last year at this time a year ago, and I remember you walking around, and Carlos had just left, and the thought was, all right, Jeremy's going to get his shot. He's going to get a chance to prove what he can do. But I remember you walked off the field, and there was a few people asking for autographs. This is night and day from a year ago to now. Is it still surreal to you that, you're a local celebrity now?
Yeah, man. And by the way, if anything else, you can go back to Raising Cane's, man. You can hand out some chicken tenders.
I'll tell you what, I only work one day, and I think I got
That's enough for you?
Employee of the month.
Oh.
I was crushing it. But, it's special. We play for, just look around. We have the best fans of baseball, and I'm going to keep saying it, and the fan base embraced me since spring training. They didn't really know me, but they just supported me since spring training, and they did it all year, and, they made this year special for me, for sure.
The other thing that changes the baseball side is you try to get better your whole career. You try to get better over the course of the season, made some adjustments, both how you play defensively, adjustments with your swing. What would you have hoped to have gotten ready to get to spring training? What are some of the things you think I can be better at?
So I'd say swing decisions is something I've really focused on this offseason. Just being a little more selective, swinging at my pitches, what I'm looking for, and letting the at-bat, take care of itself, not try to force the at-bat, just look for my pitch and try to execute.
Because if you can get those walks up next year, man, you're really cooking with something, right?
Yeah, we'll see. We've been working really hard on that, so we'll see how it plays out.
And then defensively, I almost feel bad asking this because I don't know how many people like this, but there's only certain places that you and Jose and Alex can play this year with the new shift rules. Have you put any thought into that, or is that we'll get to spring training, we'll figure out where they want us and what we're going to do?
So we've been talking about it pretty briefly. We know the new change is going to impact us in the infield a little bit, but we have great defenders, from Bregman to Altuve, and I feel like we got guys that can cover ground. And I think we'll be a pretty good defensive team. You personally probably won't have any more collisions with hitters at first base this year. Is that right? Hopefully we don't have to collide with anybody else at first base. So,
what about Jose Abreu? The addition of Jose Abreu. We were just talking about the lineup before you walked over here, and there's a potential that Abreu could hit 6th in this lineup. Think about that. Just a couple of years ago, he was the MVP.
And that's what I'm saying. We just added Jose Abreu to our lineup. MVP, one of the best hitters in the game. Great dude. And I feel like he'll just mesh right in with the guys we have. I feel like he'll have a special year. He'll be a pretty important piece on this team. So, I'm looking forward to it. I want to talk to him more about baseball and hitting and learn from him. So, I'm excited.
In your Astros career, who else have you learned from here in Houston with the organization?
Everybody since day one. Michael Brantley. Aledmys Diaz is not with us anymore, but Aledmys Diaz was a big part in my development. Jose Altuve, Alex Bregman, Yuli, all those guys took me under their wing, and they really, shaped me to just play my game. They took all the pressure off me, and they just told me, hey, keep playing your game and let it take care of itself.
When you were in AAA, what was the relationship like with you and Carlos Correa when he was still here?
So Carlos Correa was great to me since the first day we met in spring training. He, whenever he'll go do early work, he'll call me over and he'll be like, yeah, let's go to the field and catch ground balls, and we'll talk about everything. We'll talk baseball, we'll talk life. And he was like a mentor. I learned a lot from him baseball-wise, but he was also a mentor on how to stay in the moment.
How to be a pro?
How to be a professional.
Yeah.
Exactly, and practice. How to practice with intent, because when we're coming up, that's the difference.
Yeah.
Everyone does the work, but it's those that do the work with a purpose that get the most out of it. So that's what I learned the most from him.
When you went from college to pro baseball, did you go straight from Maine to rookie ball, or did you go to Single A?
I went to short season A.
Okay, short season A. Did the game speed up for you?
It did.
It did?
It did. From the first play of the game.
Yeah.
It was first pitch of the game, ground ball to me, Eric. And I was like, oh, man, what is going on? Like, this is not me. But, you know, you learn. The more you play, the more you learn to slow the game down. You think the game through. And, you know, you trust your abilities, and you just play.
And then when you go through your minor league career, what do you think the biggest difference? Because I've got college teammates that are still in pro ball. They've been in pro ball for like 9-10 years, and they just can't get through all the way to the top. But then you look at some MVP. Y'all like the MVP? What do you think the biggest difference is from rookie, or I'm sorry, let's go with A-ball. Talk to A-ball up to AAA. What do you think the biggest difference is?
I say the baseball is cleaner. You know, the game is played cleaner. You know, you take care of the ball, knowing what to do with the ball when you get the ball. You know, the pitches are more in the zone. You know, pitchers have a plan of what they're trying to do, and they execute them a little better. I say as you move up the levels, that's the biggest difference. Just the attention to details and the little things in the game.
Yeah.
Last thing for you is you explain it to the fans. All this work goes into it. You guys fit into the clubhouse. You learn from Carlos. You learn from Alex. All this stuff. All this work goes in. It's a game. How fun has it been with this team? How much fun are you anticipating 2023 being?
I mean, I'm excited. I'm excited because we put together a great season last year, but I feel like we're just getting started. You know, I feel like we're just getting started. We have a great group of guys, and we're guys that talk baseball 24/7, you know, and I'm looking forward to it. It should be a good time.
Do you guys help the other guys because of that fact? I mean, there is a younger group and a veteran group. Is the mix what works?
I say there's no ego. We root for each other. You know, we want to see our teammates do good. You know, like Bregman, whenever, you know, I was going through a rough stretch, you know, he'll call me over into the video room and we'll break down videos and he'll give me scouting reports and he'll help me out. You know, Michael Brantley did the same, and, you know, they didn't have to do that. They could just focus on their game, you know, but they took it upon themselves to actually help me out as well. So, you know, I think that's what makes us great.
That's a testament to the team because Bregman went through his own stretch of struggles, and he's helping you out as you struggle.
Exactly.
That's a testament to being a pro.
And that speaks on, you know, who he is as a person and as a player. You know, even in the playoffs, he would FaceTime me at night. You know, I'm in bed about to go to sleep, and he'll tell me, like, hey, man, I was looking at all your videos, and this is a scout report. I think I'm going to pitch to you tomorrow, and I'm like, bro, go to sleep.
Yeah.
Like, tell me this tomorrow. And he's like, you know, man, like, I'm not going to be able to go to sleep if I don't tell you. And that tells you he's a ball player.
Yeah.
You know, he's a ball player, and those are the dudes that are hungry to get better, and those are the dudes that win. So you want to be around those guys.
Well, nobody eats video like Alex Bregman.
He's a grinder, man.
He is absolutely will. They've already started the chance. I'm sure they want to again. Jeremy Pena joining us here on Sports Talk 790. Really appreciate your time, and best of luck this season. We'll see you in West Palm Beach.
Yes, sir.